Hi everyone, I'm Jen. A friend encouraged me to go ahead and share my experience from last week. The hand therapist that I go to for my torn ligaments, their office is in a hospital, and normally when I go in, you just walk through the lobby and you go to the doctor's office. And this time there was a long table with the folding legs, and there were two women, like administrative looking, not medical in any way at all. And I actually first thought that they were selling Girl Scout cookies, because one of the, the children are at school, so maybe the Girl Scout leaders can sell them, or the moms. And I think it's because one of the ladies wore a Girl Scout green blazer, and then the box of tissues and the box of gloves and the box of masks, are the size of cookie boxes. So I don't know. So I first thought it was that, but as soon as and they're in a way semi-blocking for us to do our normal walk. They're right there at the beginning on the inside. And so as one of the ladies is asking me for my personal information, there's a uniformed police officer holding a scanner type gun that you like price groceries with, that kind of thing. So that's how I was overwhelmed with the questions being asked, and meanwhile the police officer is taking the gun and to my forehead. You don't mind that I take your temperature? And he's going straight to in my mind, my pineal gland. I do not want anybody, first of all, going in my bubble without me knowing what the heck is going on. And I had to process, I don't know these people. You have not identified yourself, and yet you want my private information. And so that was what's going on with that. And meanwhile, the thermometer gun is going at my head. So I do not recommend doing this. It's just, yeah, I have PTSD, but I think it would be a person's normal reaction. I immediately put my arm up and pushed it away. So here's a police officer, having to deal with an unruly person. And I am not going to apologize for my being, because I had no idea who these people are, why they're taking my information. And they did not even mention the coronavirus, which has now been switched to COVID-19. And yes, history says the coronavirus is an umbrella name for a multitude of viruses. But for me and many of us, we only heard of the other viruses' names, SAR, S-A-R. We never heard the umbrella name the way we are hearing it now. And then the 19 supposedly stands for the year, which what if there are two viruses within 1 year? So that doesn't make sense to me. And and then anybody at this day and age would know to use 4 digits for a date identifier, because 2119, the year 2119, there could also possibly be a thing. We're not putting that out there. I'm just saying as a hypothetical thing. So whatever. It's new. It's new. Something's off. And so then he said, well, we can't let you through. And I said, well, I guess I'm not going to my doctor's appointment. And, when I'm out and about, I'm often in a sling, just to not move. My hand can still move and twist within here. So we're trying to not have it twist so the ligaments can heal anyhow. So I'm on the phone with my doctor in front of them, but stepped a few feet away, as other people just go through without asking questions. These are not medical people. The police officer, the two ladies, none of them are in the healthcare business. I get it. We're in a, the pandemic was not even identified as such last week. But just so you know, I do not have anything against these people. In fact, I'll link there's this one YouTube channel that does these lovely themed feel-good videos. And one of them that I watched today is about all the positive things that the police officers do. So just to balance things out, I just want you to know I have nothing against him. He was just doing what he's told to do. And I'll put the link of the Happy Kind Cops. I'm not saying he's not kind, but he invaded my bubble, so that didn't feel good. But you could tell it bothered him, and then he was trying to figure out. He says, well, I said, just take my temperature the traditional way, and he goes, no, that involves too much saliva. And so I said, no, for decades, you put it in the mouth, and there's this plastic straw thing without holes at the end, and then they throw it in the trash can. I get it. It would be lots of waste on there. And I don't know if he was going to touch my forehead or if he's just going to scan it for the thermometer thing. So anyhow, he says, well, we don't have any anyhow. We're literally in a hospital. Yes, there are doctor's offices, which they probably have some too, but we're literally in a hospital building. I hope they have some. But I said, no, I'm going to call my doctor and we're just going to have to figure something else out. So then the two non-medical ladies and the non-medical police officer, and he might have been a security guard, I don't know. He comes to me, they talk, they huddle while I'm on the phone with the doctor's office, and he comes and he says, we can take your temperature with your wrist. So my wrist is fine as far as I know. I don't believe anything nefarious is going on, but I do question everything. So, he took my temperature for my wrist. Never heard of that before, ever. That's a Mandela effect for me as well. So, I spent many years in and out of doctor's offices, so I would say I'm a pretty good candidate for knowing what's usual, unless it was made up this year or the past couple years. I ramble. I'm sharing this with you. You have a right to ask to have your temperature somewhere else. You have a right to be told who is asking you for your information, why they're wanting it. None of that was done. It was just, you have to answer these strangers to me. The ladies were not even in uniform or anything. And we're not here to cause trouble. It's just, whether I have PTSD or not is not the point. I think there does need to be sensitivity to just someone immediately, you don't mind if I do this? Well, give me a chance to answer first, So I apologize to those three. They're just messengers of whomever they're following. And I'm just sharing this. I hesitated because I don't want to be womp. But I think it's important if we come down to that, because even the drive-through clinics that they're offering right now, I'm just like, I don't know. Are they gathering DNA for something? I don't know. It's in my nature to question everything. My first 20, 30 years, I just went along with whatever anybody wanted me to. I was the bestest chameleon. I was the goodest girl. I was everyone's bestest friend because I turned the color you wanted me to turn into. And so maybe my pendulum swung the other way too much, but I do feel like I have a right to question things. And I feel like you do too. I love you. I love you. I love you. Corona means crown. When a baby enters a new reality through the portal of a mother, most of the time, except for me, because I question things, most of the time, the baby comes through to the new reality with their head. I evidently did not want to be here, and I came out breech. But my mother got a party out of it because I was the 499th baby, but because I took so long, another woman came in, blip, the baby came out, and I ended up being number 500. So they had a party with champagne and everything. So Mom, you're welcome. I love everyone.